I'm streaming on Facebook with a Panasonic GH5 camera, and that is hooked into the laptop, which is then hooked to an HDMI capture card. And the microphone, this is a Shure mic. And then we're using an app called Restream to get all this content out to Twitch, YouTube Live, Facebook, all at the same time. Instagram, you're just hearing audio from the actual phone. So that's a little bit about the setup. That's a great question. Hi, Mom. Hi, Gail. Buenos Aires. Hi, Diego. Wow, fantastic. So fun to see friends all around the globe. What do you guys want me to play today? I'm excited to play some jams for you. Friend on Instagram is asking what saxophone should they buy. I am a Yamaha artist and I love the Custom Zs. This is a bronze Custom Z, so it's definitely a darker sound and a darker lacquer. I don't know if they're making these exact models anymore. I think they only made 200 of them. I've been talking to Yamaha saying that they should definitely bring it back because they're beauties. But in any case, I always like to go for a darker sound, so I have a bronze soprano as well. And I just think that soprano and alto are both kind of brighter horns. So I grew up listening to saxophonist Dan Getz, and he has such a beautiful dark tone that my ears just tend to go to that sound. But of course, all of you have your own preferences and sounds that you're hearing. So the most important thing when you're finding a new saxophone is to actually go and play it and see if it resonates with your ears and is pleasing and feels good. I'm also a Vandoren artist. So this is the A8 mouthpiece and the MO ligature and Java green box 2.5 reeds. And I love my setup. The reeds play right out of the box. That's a little bit of nerding out for all of you. And I'll do a video for any of you who are interested, who are saxophone people, about specifics on setup. I think the most important thing about setup is that you're not fighting against it. So you just want you want mouthpieces and reeds and accessories and a horn that doesn't have any leaks. You want to be able to just play with ease, and then from there really capture your sound and know what you're going for. And then when you try out new equipment, you'll have a reference point. We got some friends on YouTube. MH, greetings from Germany. Igor, hello. Oh, Macedonia. This is fantastic. I love it. Hello, Glenn. It was so good to see you the other night. Oh, Gerald, it was so great to see you too. That song, yes, I love Nora Jones. I grew up with her. Out across the endless sea, I could die in ecstasy, but I'll be a bag of bones, riding down the road alone. This one goes to Gerald. My heart is dressed in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. It's a little Don't Know Why. I love that song. Glenn is requesting a little Cannonball Adderley work song. That's another great one. How many of you are Cannonball Adderley sax fans? I hope to see some hearts. Let's shoot, how does it go? George, I will definitely be doing a YouTube video about a setup. That is a great idea. Speaking of videos, one thing that I'm really looking forward to this week, and as you guys can kind of see on Facebook, we got a nice light setup, and the room is coming together to be a nice production room. I'm looking forward to making videos for my Pledge Music family and supporters. There are a few of you who got a cool store item, which is Grace's practice tips. So that comes with a PDF and a video. So I've been working on that for you guys. And also there are a bunch of you who got customized video messages. So I'll be deep into that, which is always exciting because I love to know who is actually hearing my music, and I've been overwhelmed with all the best feelings and emotions getting to meet you all live and to hear from you via email and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. It is really very touching to know that the music is getting out to all of you, the performances are getting to you, and I love it. Hello, Charles. Wonderful to hear from you. Jesse, Cannonball, yes. Wendy, mercy, mercy, mercy. Oh, I love it. We got some Cannonball fans in the house. So good. So that's a little bit of what I'm looking forward to in this coming week. The other thing I'm gearing up for is the Newport Jazz Festival. My band is playing this coming Saturday in the afternoon. We are so excited. Newport's just one of these historical jazz fests that, my God, talk about Cannonball. He performed at John Coltrane. I performed there for the first time when I was 18, opening for Jamie Cullum, the pianist and singer from the UK. And since then, have been there a few times performing. But this time, I'm super excited to be there with my band. There's an awesome lineup, including Robert Glasper and Andra Day and John Batiste. And I'm going to be hanging out for the whole weekend and doing a lot of digital content, behind-the-scenes stuff. So I hope you guys will also tune into my Instagrams and get some sneak peeks of the things to come. There's going to be a lot of amazing artists. So, super, super excited about that. A little mercy, mercy, mercy. I hope the sound and everything is coming through okay. Is it good? I'm also realizing I have 24% battery on the laptop, which is not the best thing because I don't want it to die on you guys. So you might get to meet my boyfriend Pasha if he decides to come in with a charger. It's amazing. I have 5 devices out right now, guys, and I'm trying to look at each one of you, and then I also realized that none of my devices were charged. Of course, because if any of you know me well, you know the things that I forget most of the time are socks. I always lose my socks. Literally, it's the number one item that I leave behind on tour. And chargers. I don't always like to use my phone, and I sometimes just purposely leave it in my bag overnight, not charging, because I just don't really feel like answering emails and text messages. Although I know I have to, so then I also I know it's not the best thing to sleep with your phone on next to you, so I sometimes just leave it in my bag, and then the next day and morning I go through all of it. So, if I'm a little slow on communications, that's why. It is absolutely not because I'm ignoring you. It's just because sometimes I get a little tired of digital devices, but sometimes I'm very reinvigorated by them because we get moments like this. So great. I'm glad. Hi, Tim. So great to see you on here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Looking forward to meeting in the future. So the other really exciting news on this front is that my new album, which is called Go Time Brooklyn 2, is officially out for pre-order. So if you are a Pledge Music supporter and you are on board with that, you should have gotten an email earlier today saying that you can now get your Go Time Brooklyn 2 download if you had ordered it from the store. And if you guys want to hear that new music, which does feature Leo P on saxophone and Elliot Skinner, then you can go to the Pledge Music page, pledgemusic.com/GraceKelly, and you can be the first to get it. So really, really excited about that. Somebody is asking, what is the highest note you've reached when you sing? Usually when I'm warmed up, it can be pretty up there. I don't know what it is this morning. We can find out. Let's see. So one thing I like to do for any vocalist friends out there is create a vocal siren, and that's just a very quiet sound that basically is from the lowest of my range to the highest. This is how I warm up vocally. It's actually a good thing to ease into any type of vocal exercises. You don't want to start out belting or anything like that because you can damage your vocal cords. So a vocal siren would sound something like that's the highest note I have this morning. And the other important thing for any singer friends out there is when you do the siren, and all of you can practice this, it's a great way to get into singing, is you want to have it be a continuous siren from, so this would be if you had a break, but instead you want it to be a very clean oh, see, I broke. And you can go a little faster through it. You want it to actually sound like a police ambulance siren. And you can continue to stretch your range like that. So, you know, you can do it while you're walking on the street, on the train, any of those things. The favorite new music I've been checking out this week has been Kimbra. She has a new single with... she's a new single with Snoop Dogg rapping on it, which is super awesome. And it's called, I think it's called On Top of the World. It's so awesome. She's like, I'm on top, I'm on top, I'm on top of the world. And Snoop sounds awesome on it. I love following Kimbra on Instagram. She's such an inspiration. I've also been rechecking out the great Sonny Rollins. Do you have any Sonny Rollins fans? As I've been making this education tutorial stuff for fellow musicians, I've gone back to some of my favorite improvisers, and Sonny Rollins is so brilliant at motivic development, and one of my favorite records that I grew up with is Sonny Rollins' The Bridge. Have you guys heard it? Please tell me you've heard it. If you haven't, you gotta check it out. It's amazing. His solo on Without a Song is the most brilliant motivic development. Friends, bear with me 1 second. The computer's about to die, so I need to grab the charger. Hold on. Take a musical break. I feel like I need some music. Okay, we have power. Now have fun outlet. Okay, time to find an outlet. Outlet. That's the other thing about live streaming, friends, that outlets get taken up very easily, and we do not have a power cord. So, I'm going to unplug the device. Charging. The things that we do for our technology. Technology needs some coffee this morning, too. All right. So this is so that my Facebook friends and YouTube friends don't go away. So I'm back, and my mom's requesting a song of mine. It's a new song that I debuted in New York called Wonder Woman. I'll play a little bit of the melody for you guys. Oh, and these are my Jerry Harvey in-ears. They're an amazing company, Jerry Harvey Audio, and I use a lot of used these ears every day when I was playing on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and any television work. Because, as you can see, it hides cables well, and they are just like a sound monitor, except you don't have to deal with the monitors on stage. It all goes right in. It's a little bit of my song Wonder Woman. We'll be coming out with that track in the fall with, a lot of new music then. So anyways, I was saying I've been checking out music this week. Kimbra, Snoop Dogg, Mishkat's been on my playlist, Sonny Rollins, rechecking out that Bridge album. And I don't know how much longer it's going to be up, not much longer, but my name is listed as under alto saxophone in the Downbeat Readers poll. So if you guys have a minute, it would mean the world to me if you could go to that link, the Downbeat Readers poll, which I will post for all of you, and vote for me under alto sax, and also write me in under female vocalist and jazz artist. The Readers poll is a big deal. Downbeat is one of the top jazz magazines, one that I grew up with, and that poll is all about fans and all about you guys. So every year they do a critics poll and they do a readers poll. So it would literally mean the world to me if you vote, and I know some of you already have. So thank you so much. Any other song requests from you guys? So many good questions coming in. Steven, greetings from Bulgaria. Wow, that's fantastic. Tell me something about your 82Z. I recently switched to. Oh, did you switch to the 82Z? That's fantastic. So the thing that I love so much about these Yamaha horns, for any of you saxophone people out there, is that there is a incredible amount of consistency and ease to the instrument. So from the lowest note to its highest in altissimo, it's like clean as a whistle. For me to be able to hit those high notes and know that they're going to come out with ease is definitely a difference, a big difference than playing any type of vintage horn. For a long time, I played the Selmer Mark 6, and I love it. It's my baby. I played it for like 10 years, and of course, I still have it. But I have to say, like, it was always a little dicey getting up there in that altissimo range, and that's just part of the nature of how these newer horns are made versus the older horns. They all have their kind of plus and minuses. So I do love that about the 82Z, Stefan, and I'm curious what your experience has been with them, or any of you guys. I always think, setup is definitely an interesting thing. It's very, it's so personable. I mean, depending on who's playing. So, and that is one of the questions I wanted to get in about saxophone setup. So, and also people do ask me, what are your favorite saxophones to play, and what other woodwinds do you play? So I play the alto sax, the curved soprano, the baritone, the flute, the clarinet. I played a bit of all of them when I was doing TV work with the house band for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And I love them all. I would say that the alto sax and the soprano are my main voices. Those are the guys that I carry with me as I travel and as I perform live. But I really enjoy recording with a baritone and playing that as well. And the flute and clarinet are not as familiar for me, but I'm hoping to get to know them a little bit better. It's been cool to work with them in TV context. Let's see. I would love to play you guys a little other jam. What's my favorite song? Oh, God, I don't know. I have a lot of favorite songs. I got to get back to you on that one. I was mentioning earlier to my Instagram fans that Duke Ellington's Isfahan, which was originally played by Johnny Hodges, is one of my favorites. I just think it's such a gem of a song. It goes a little bit like... And Johnny Hodges with all those beautiful bends. Ooh, that's a good one, Mike. Moonlight in Vermont. You and I and moonlight in Vermont. So I recently got a great question this week from a friend asking me about my advice for someone who's just getting out of college and is interested into getting into the music world and the music industry, and what my advice for him would be. And I would love for all of you to weigh in if we have some musicians in the house. First of all, I thought it was a very smart thing that as a college grad, he would be talking to a lot of different people in the music industry: performers, producers, managers, people in the business, people on the artistic side, and kind of get a bearing for whether he wants to get deeper into it. I will say that being an artist in general, and especially a music artist, it's a hustle, it's a grind. You got to create your own opportunities. You got to build a team if you want to be an artist and a band leader. And you kind of have to navigate where you want to go. And there's no textbook way to do it. There's no one thing I could tell you that will ensure that you will have a solo career. So the thing that I was mentioning to him is, yeah, first of all, it's a great thing to be able to talk to a lot of different people in the industry, because you might find that alongside with being a solo artist that you love the behind the scenes and you want to be more in the production side of things, or perhaps you're interested in music business, which is a great thing for all of you who are musicians to be learning about the business side of things. It's super important because ultimately, as the creator, you want to make sure you protect rights to your own music and that you know what's going on, so that when you do have other people helping and team members, you're able to also give directions and fill people in on different things. And just in general, it's so great to know about different people's roles. Like as a film composer, I'm also able to talk to a director of movies and television more in their language, because in the past I've done some acting, and I have kind of that vocabulary of those different things. And then I can also talk music. So I'd say exploring all the different territories of whether you want to, your heart is 100% into being an artist and you want to play your music, or maybe you're 100% into being a sideman, or maybe you have a love for math or being an astronaut. In which case, I would say you should go and explore all of those things. Music does not have to be 100% your path. If you have other loves, it's certainly something that is so fun to do on the side, or to be able to just pick up an instrument and play, or go to a jam session. I will say that if you feel like it's the only thing you can imagine doing, and you can only imagine being a creator, and you're 100% committed to it, then go for it. It's going to be a lot of work, and there's certainly days that feel very up and down, but to build one's own fan base, and I'm very grateful and lucky to have the best fans in the world and the most supportive people around me, then it is the greatest gift to be able to share music and be a content creator. So I thought that was a fantastic question. Gustavo has some wise words for all of us. He said, "It's a tough world. The greatest thing you can get are connections. Be nice to everyone you encounter. You may end up working with them." So true. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Gustavo, because whether you are a sideman, I've played gigs where I'm playing someone else's music, or, you're in a situation that doesn't feel ideal, or maybe you're just hungry or grumpy or tired. It's still always important to put your best foot forward, show up on time, learn the music. I hire a lot of other musicians, and I really value those things of, being professional. And it's so true, Gustavo, you just never know. In our industry, in the music world, there's so many paths that come across, and so many people doing different things. And to be a kind person and to show up with a smile and bring your best self to the table is indeed always that's the goal. We all have days where we feel off, myself included. So I think that is such wise words. Thank you so much. Somebody's mentioning, wow, you saw me for the first time Postmodern Jukebox, singing, playing, dancing. Yeah, I had such a great time with Scott and the gang. Somebody's also mentioning the volume's a little low. Is that a little better, guys? Let me know. Scott is an inspiration. I highly recommend his new book, Outside the Jukebox, where he talks about his journey. And he is such a amazing curator in bringing new talent to a bunch of your eyes and building quite the repertoire as well. So let's see, what else can I play you? Oh, that's so sweet. So one of you saying you're one of my favorite sax players. I can't stop following you. I'm so flattered. I know I asked you last Sunday, but I want to know, what do your fans mean to you? Fans, you guys mean everything. And at this point, I honestly think of fans more like friends, because I feel like I know a lot of you by face, or just when you constantly show up for online things and I see your names, it always registers in my head. So I'm sending you all big cyber hugs. Good afternoon, Cameron. I am from Brookline, Massachusetts. That's where I grew up. That's a great question. And I also wanted to bring up a question that came up this week. Somebody asked me if I have a favorite, if I had to pick between singing and playing sax, what would I pick? I honestly just feel like there's such built-in, they're built-in expression for me. I love to be able to songwrite and write words and sing lyrics and see how that touches people. And then I love to be able to pick up my saxophone on another song and play something like very intense and loud and high, something that I can't do with my voice, and have that range in my live performance. I honestly just can't pick one. I love playing, I love singing, I love writing for all different instruments. I'm grateful that I don't have to pick one. I don't know, maybe it feels like, if any of you have kids, maybe it's like picking your favorite kid. People also ask me what my favorite album is, but again, I don't know. I feel proud of all my albums, and I also feel like they were all capturing a certain point of my life. And of course, I look back to the first album when I made when I was 12, and I think, wow, I would change a lot of things now. But for when I was 12 and capturing that moment in time, I'm very proud of it. So I feel that same way about saxophone versus singing. I can't do them at the same time. That's very true. People do point that out to me. And it is amazing to get to see how playing different instruments and writing different songs can affect people in the audience differently. And they affect me differently when I play or when I sing. So I feel like I'm literally putting on different hats. It's a beautiful thing. How quickly do you pick up, whether it's learning new songs or new dance moves? So the thing that I like to do when I'm learning new songs is just listen a bajillion times, listen actively with headphones, listen while I'm doing the dishes, while I'm walking, to the point where I can just sing that melody and I'm just unconsciously singing along. And when I finally pick something up in my head and I'm singing it, it becomes a much easier process to then play the song on the saxophone. So that's my recommendation. If any of you are learning a new song, actively listen to your favorite recordings of it. Actually make a whole playlist of different people covering that song. Whether it's Summertime, like somebody just mentioned, I would do a whole playlist of all these different artists playing Summertime. And I do count listening as practice time. So some of you might feel like, oh, I didn't get my 45 minutes in. I didn't touch my instrument. But if you are listening to those recordings and you're singing along, that to me is absolutely practice time. That's a great question. You guys have so many wonderful questions. What I want to do, since I got to run, is I'd love to keep the conversation going. So if you want to just comment on the thread on Facebook or on YouTube, I'm going to be here. You know, I do this weekly on Sundays. Next Sunday, keep an eye out for any announcements about that, because I will be at the Newport Jazz Festival, so I might have to change around the timing of things. But I always love hearing your questions, and I want to get to all of them, and also want to get to all of your song requests. So feel free to leave it in the comments. Again, if you guys have a moment, it would mean the world to me if you could vote for me in the Downbeat Readers Poll. I'm listed under the alto saxophone category, and if you could write me in under female vocalists and jazz artists. The Downbeat Readers Poll is all about you guys. It's all about fans, and it comes out, I think the voting process is done very soon in early August. So if you get on it now, you vote once per email, and you'll also find a bunch of other cool names. But I'm honored to be listed as one of the alto saxophone nominees, so it would mean a lot to have you guys vote for me. Thank you so much for all of you who already have. So without that, I am going to sign off and continue on with the Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with me. These videos are going to stay up, and as always, sending much love to all of you. Much love. Thank you to all my friends who came out in New York. We had a fantastic time with you at Le Poisson Rouge, and see you guys very soon. Here's a little signing off for you. Oh, I'm trying to get that to that one. Oh, that's not the key. I'll work on it, Glenn. How about a little rhythm changes to sign off? That sounds fun. Goodbye, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday.